need a me.
Yeah, I know, but that's not what I asked you, though.
Exactly.
Are you asking me to rate my female peers?
No. I mean, but that's how you get your self-rating, is because you're looking at your female peers and you're saying that some of them are prettier than you, right?
Yeah, I was thinking more like the standard, like my perceived standard of like female beauty.
Yeah, right. Your perceived standard of female beauty puts you at a 7. So would you say that the woman who puts herself at a 10 has a higher or lower standard than that? Because clearly you can compare yourself to other women so that you can come up with the standard, right?
You see her eyes? Her eyes looked towards the female who was walking, but she was also doing the thing of, I'm trying to think about something. My brain's trying to process an answer. Because what he's doing is he's putting her in a logic corner. The problem is when an individual who is all about uplifting the sisterhood at any cost is put in a logic corner, they run into a massive cognitive problem because they can't say what's logical and at the same time uplift, edifying the sisterhood. They can't, because the sisterhood does things that are antithetical to logic. So now she has a major problem on her hands, especially with the individual to whom she's speaking, which is a blood sport debater. So let's see what she's going to do here.
I don't really know what you're saying. I just think the whole point is like that everybody can come up with their own standard.
See what she just did? She had no comeback for what he asked. She didn't have one. So what did she do? She deflected by saying, well, I don't know what you're saying. So now I'm going to start talking about what it is about which I want to speak. That way, I'm on some footing on which I think I can either win or at least nullify what he's saying. Just going to ignore what he asked me, say, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. So as I was saying, and then go over here to somewhere else. But she has one major problem here. She's speaking with Andrew Wilson. You think he's going to let you get away with that? Mama. You're in a corner now. What you gonna do?
I don't need a me.
How do you know if you're a 7, absent you comparing yourself to other women? You wouldn't know that, right?
Sure, like if I had never seen a woman before and you asked me to rate how beautiful I thought I was, I don't know, because
there's no way for you to compare
There's no
it
way.
to anything. So.
The whole point of a rating
you're...
scale is that it's supposed to be comparative, sure.
Right, yeah, exactly. So if you're comparing yourself to the woman who considers herself a 10, right, are you saying that she's a 10 or not?
I just think that I don't see the point in questioning her rating of herself.
Did you see Andrew start laughing? He started laughing because he sees the hamster wheel. He sees it. He's listening. He's like, she can't answer that without conceding to his point. She knows she can't. So what does she do again? She deflects again. Instead of answering the question, she asks a question and says, well, why is it that, we have to do that? I don't see how it makes sense to question her rating of herself, even though she just said that the rating system is a general thing we use against each other. She simultaneously is saying we can't question a person's rating of themselves, even though they're rating themselves against others. If all of us are involved, then all of us can question each other's rating. That makes sense. But she doesn't know how to answer the question, so she's trying to put Andrew on the defense. Let's see what Andrew does. He's already laughing, so this is probably going to be horrific for her.
Yeah, I know. I'm not asking you if she should question her rating of herself. I'm saying that if you're objective, and clearly you're looking at this as an objective metric, then do you agree with that self-assessment or disagree with that self-assessment? That's what I'm asking.
Now, you all put in the comment section, do you think she's going to directly answer this question? Based on everything that has already happened, do you think she's going to directly answer this question, yes or no? Do you? Because based on her history, I don't think she is. I think she's probably going to somehow either deflect by asking another question or questioning why we're asking this, or by saying something like, I don't want to talk about this anymore or whatever. She's going to do something to not answer the question. Now, I could be wrong. It could be to the point where he's cornered her long enough to where she now has to answer. I guess we're about to see.
I don't need no man.
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Well, that's an answer. That's an actual answer. Because if she says, I don't know, or yes or no, or I'm not sure, that's an answer, but it's still an answer that's indirectly deflecting. Because if she called herself a 7, and then she said, depending on whether or not 10 or 10 is perfection, and you know good and well, perfection is 100%. 10 out of 10 is 100%. So that means that's perfection. Is she perfect? Is she, the chick right there on the screen, is she perfect? She knows that she's not. But her knowing that she's not perfect, it doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because one thing about the sisterhood is they care more about how a female feels than telling the female the truth. That's the truth. That's how they are. Because they'll tell you, don't say that to her, even though what you're saying to her is true. And if you say the truth to her, she has a better chance of fixing whatever problem it is that she doesn't like via the truth than she has fixing it if you don't tell her that the thing is an actual problem. And this female right here on the screen has a major problem if she actually thinks that she's a 10 out of 10, because that means when she goes into the dating market, what is she going to do? She's going to look at the guys who she thinks is worthy of a 10 out of 10. And who are those guys? Let's just keep it real. We all know who those guys are. Those are the guys who have the money. Those are the guys who have at least one of 4 things. That's looks, game, money, or fame. If they have one of those 4 things, they can get a chick who's supposedly a 10 out of 10. But if they don't have at least one of those things, they won't be able to get them. So she's only going to date guys who have at least one of those 4 things. Because that's what supposed 10 out of 10s think they deserve. Now, remember, this is the female guessing game. So out of all of these females you've seen, about which one do you think I'm about to ask you all? Drum roll, please. So, tell me, is she a traditional woman, modern woman, or modern female? Put it in the comment section and tell me why you think so. And then grab yourself some merch on the way out in order to support the channel. And of course, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Thanks, good man fam.